We know about Drew, but can you talk a little bit about just the backup quarterbacks and just the job they're doing, and how's the depth chart sorting out? I know we're midway through fall camp.
All those guys are doing a good job. They got their ups and their downs, obviously, and that's on me to get those guys coached out to the standard that we have in our room. But Grant's been good. He's athletic. He can make some good downfield throws. He's got some experience, obviously. Brody's got quite a bit of arm talent. He's got a really smooth stroke, and he can dish it on the field, and he's doing a good job operating. And Luke's been a pleasant surprise in camp. Is really coming on, and is somebody that I feel pretty strongly about kind of developing into a player around here one day.
Do you feel like you need to name a backup at a certain point, or are you just willing to let it ride for a while?
Yeah, we're gonna let it ride a little bit. We're just on. I believe this was day 6 for us, right? And so we've got some good live scrimmages coming up. This Saturday will be a good opportunity for those guys to go out there and see how they move the ball. Ultimately, when bullets start flying, and so we'll get into next week. That'll be a decision that Coach Morris will make that.
We kind of know personalities a little bit. Like Drew's got, I think, a great personality for a starter. What are their personalities like? I noticed Brody walked by, got the blonde, in the hair.
They're all different, obviously, right? Grant's a little bit more cerebral and serious, and you're talking about a Yale graduate with an economics degree, right? And is a little bit more analytical with things. And Luke's a little bit quieter, but a super confident and competitive kid. And Brody's has a little bit more kind of an outgoing personality. Obviously, the hair, his clothes, we kind of rag on him for how he dresses a little bit. So, but I can't be too negative because he's from Arizona, not from Arizona. I don't want to cut off the pipeline. So all those guys are great. We've got a great room. I've been so lucky all 6 years I've been coaching collegiately to have great kids in my room, and super blessed to have those guys in there.
We look at the physical tools of these guys, but the mental tools, how big is the mental aspect, especially for those guys trying to digest this playbook?
Yeah, our offense is huge, right? And you think about the success that Drew had early on, so much of it's because of his mental capability and capacity, right? And his ability to process information and recall, which allowed us to have a lot of volume in our offense, but also a tremendous amount of variety and variance week to week. And so, and if those guys can't handle it mentally, they're not going to stick around here that long.
Talk about the versatility in all your position groups on offense. How it's going to allow you to do many different things.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a great wide-ranging crew, right? You look at the receiver room. You've got Jabo, who's a big physical freak, obviously, and you've got Wyatt, who can do a little bit of everything, obviously, and super productive. You've got Miles and Chris, who are a little bit shifty, right? But they bring a super dynamic skill set to our room. A couple of young guys that have really come on, I think, in fall camp are Davon Standard, and Cam looks really good as well. And so, there's a really good diversity of skill set in that room. And the best thing that I've noticed so far is Coach Edwards got those guys blocking their tails off on the perimeter, right? We've sprung some huge runs and some explosives for those guys going in and digging out some safeties and blocking for those guys on the perimeter too on some of our perimeter touches. So we've done a great job with that room. Those guys have come a long way.
Tight end can be critical too, and that also is kind of a Swiss Army knife, right?
Yeah, those guys are coming along as well, obviously, and you got to see that, a guy that's been here, obviously, in Oscar Hammond, and he provides, a really nice pass-catching threat for us, who we have experience with at North Texas. And then, bringing in, Morgan just got here, right, this summer, coming in from VMI. Then you got Donnie, who's a seasoned veteran, who's a great red zone target for us, and Carson Colb's come on, and Bodie's doing some good things. And so, kind of similar to us, talking about the backup quarterback in here right earlier, still kind of figuring out exactly what that lineup's going to be like and how we're going to personnel those guys best in place.
Sean, it feels like you've got good skill base. The talent is there. Offensive line is obviously a challenge to figure out what meshes. What's the working group? Mm-hmm. Where do you stand right now with those guys?
The progression's been fantastic. Jacob Sexton's been phenomenal this fall camp. So he got married this summer, so I don't know if that flipped the switch for him or whatnot, but he's been amazing. Tyler Mercer's super sharp at center and handles so much that we do on him, from whether it's handling our 6-man pass pro, run points, all those things. Johnny Dixon, a seasoned veteran. Ashton Lepo's coming off shoulder surgery. Torgerson's been a really pleasant surprise. I think he's done some really good stuff. And then Hanson as well is somebody that's really flashed during fall camp. And so, yeah, finding a cohesive group that can gel together and do those things consistently is the most important thing. Lucky we're on day 6, but it's been great progress so far.